The second point I noticed in my missionary journey, our brothers, those ends, point number 2 is that those that have responsibility in the church are not eye service people. They know why God gave them that position. Why are they not eye service people? They know it is a call. Any position that you are given in the church, just know it is a call of God. It may be man saying, okay, be an usher, be an elder, be a member of the cleaning crew, be in the band. Man may be saying that, but behind that, God is calling you. Anything you do in the church is a call. It's not only the pastor that is called, or these other gifts, apostles, prophets, teachers, pastors, evangelists. Those are not the only children of God that are called. Every one of us, given any responsibility in the church, just know it is a call. And you should look at it as a blessing. If you can look at it as a blessing, that God left so and so and picked me, you would really serve from the depth of your heart. God left this one, and I was picked. You would really, really take it as a blessing. I want to remind you that anybody that did the work in the tabernacle, Old Testament, anybody that did the work, any responsibility, any duty, any service in the tabernacle, or later in the temple, was called of God or assigned by God. Not anybody could do anything in the tabernacle. No. This one called this one. They will be doing this. This tribe will be doing this. These individuals will do this. Some even were given skill to perform the work of God when the temple was being built. They were given skill. So anything we do in the church is a call. And we are going to see some few scriptures. It was not haphazardly or by chance or by luck. It was a call of God. Anything you do in the house of God is a call. Look at Numbers chapter 3. Turn to the book of Numbers, chapter 3. Then you couldn't just wake up and do anything or do whatever you wanted unless God assigned you. Numbers chapter 3, verses 1 through 10. There also, these also are the generations of Aaron and Moses in the day that the Lord spake with Moses in Mount Sinai. And these are the names of the sons of Aaron Nadab, the firstborn, and Abihu, Eleazar, and Ithamar. These are the names of the sons of Aaron, the priests, which were anointed. Hear that. They were anointed, whom he consecrated to minister in the priest's office. They were anointed. Now, and Nadab and Abihu died before the Lord when they offered strange fire. They had been chosen, appointed, selected of God, but they offered strange fire. That's why you don't just do anything anyhow in the house of God, in the work of God, in the ministry of God. You don't just perform anything. God gave instructions. Whether it was to burn incense, that is where they would take the fire from and what they would do. Very clear instructions. If you got exalted and say, why don't I try this? Anything strange, God doesn't want. God, to serve God, there is a way He has said He would be served. These days we live in a world where people can serve God anyhow. Anyhow. They don't care. I'm serving God. These offered a strange fire, and they died before the Lord in the wilderness of Sinai. And they had no children, and Eleazar and Ithamar ministered in the priest's office in the sight of Aaron, their father. And the Lord spake unto Moses, saying, bring the tribe of Levi, or Levi, whatever pronunciation it is. Bring the tribe of Levi near and present them before Aaron the priest, that they may minister unto him. Now God chose the tribe of Levi. They didn't just carry it, God chose. Any job you did in the tabernacle, we are just confirming that it is a call. And they shall keep his charge and the charge of the whole congregation before the tabernacle of the congregation, to do the service of the tabernacle. The tribe of Levi, 12 tribes. But here we see tribe of Levi being chosen. So, verse 8, and they shall keep all the instruments of the tabernacle. What were they to do? Apart from ministering to the Lord, they were to keep all the instruments of the tabernacle of the congregation, and the charge of the children of Israel to do the service of the tabernacle. Verse 9, thou shalt give the Levites unto Aaron and to his sons. They are wholly given unto him out of the children of Israel. And thou shalt appoint, you see how selective God is, Aaron and his sons, and they shall wait on their priest's office. And the stranger that cometh nigh, what will happen? What will happen? What would happen to the stranger? And the stranger that cometh nigh shall be put to death. No joke. If we are not a Levite, and you try to do what was assigned to the Levites, you are put to death. So, whatever you are given to do in the church, it might have been a man that called you, can you help us in this? Can you help us in this? But it is a call from God. Anybody that did any work in the tabernacle, it is God that assigned. It is a call. So, when you are doing it, will you complain? It's a blessing. All other tribes were left. And the tribe of Levi was called. The other tribes, as far as that particular duty was concerned, only the tribe of Levi. Go backwards to Numbers chapter 1. Verses 47 to 54. Only, verse 47, sorry. But the Levites, after the tribe of their fathers, were not numbered among them. Am I reading the correct verse? Yes. For the Lord had spoken unto Moses, saying, only thou shalt not number the tribe of Levi, neither take the sum of them among the children of Israel. But thou shalt appoint the Levites over the tabernacle of testimony, and over all the vessels thereof, and over all the things that belong to it. They shall bear the tabernacle, and all the vessels thereof. They shall minister unto it, and shall encamp around. They shall encamp round about the tabernacle. Those little huts or tents around, that would be around, would be those of the Levites only. If we are a tribe of Judah, Isaac, whatever, you were not to be around the tabernacle. Do you see how God was ordering? It didn't matter. They were the one to be near the tabernacle. The rest of the tribes that way. God is very selective. If you just decided to say, well, why should it be only the tribe of Levi? Why should I? I'm also going to pitch my tent near the tabernacle. You died. Verse 51. And when the tabernacle setteth forward, the Levites shall take it down. Only the Levites would take the tabernacle down. And when the tabernacle is to be pitched, the Levites shall set it up. And the stranger that cometh nigh, what would happen? What would happen? You see? You come. If he has chosen somebody, that's why you waste it. If somebody has been chosen to do something, let's respect. Many times we complain if somebody is taking care of the church plates and says, you bring that plate, you bring. Is it yours? Are you the one who bought? Don't we complain? Yeah, all of you are guilty. Aren't you? Yeah. You are guilty. Somebody maybe have been assigned to take care of the property, the chairs, the benches, the saucepans, the food. Let's leave the people assigned in certain offices, give them honor to do their work rather than complain. Anybody that came, they died. We are not assigned to do that. They died. 52. And the children of Israel shall pitch their tents, every man by his own camp, and every man by his own standard throughout their hosts. But the Levites shall pitch round about the tabernacle of testimony, that there be no wrath upon the congregation of the children of Israel. And the Levites shall keep the charge of the tabernacle of the testimony. And the children of Israel did according to all that the Lord commanded Moses. So did they. So did they. You see, nobody was to pitch his tent around the tabernacle except the Levites. If you felt that you should also be near the tabernacle, pitch your tent, the answer is no reason, death. They were to look after the vessels. So when you are given to do something, just know the Lord has called you to do that. But we minimize it because after all, pastor is a man, true. He's a man like me, true. And so that's why we miss the blessing. We don't do it from the heart. It's a call. You'll have challenges. Yes, but it is a call. If it is to clean the house of God, you will clean with one heart and keep this sanctuary clean. If it is the restroom, it will be a burden. You clean. I saw Brother Okero there. He had just come there. The first thing he did was to see to it that the toilets were clean. And is a teacher, not just a licensed, qualified teacher, but he cleans. That's what we should, with one heart. Rather than they give you, I'm the only person. Where are the rest? We are many. We are many. Just know God has called you. Do it with one heart. First Chronicles chapter 9. First Chronicles chapter 9. Verses 19 through 34. 9. First Chronicles chapter 9, 19. And Shalom, the son of Kor, or Kore, if it was our vernacular, the son of Abiasaph, the son of Korah, and his brethren, of the house of his father, the Korahites, were over the work of the service, keepers of the gates of the tabernacle, and their fathers, being over the host of the Lord, were keepers of the entry. You see, anything you did in the tabernacle, the call was from God. And Phinehas, the son of Eleazar, was the ruler over them in time past, and the Lord was with him. You see the various responsibilities. And Zechariah, the son of Mesheremiah, was porter of the door of the tabernacle of the congregation. Hear that. Verse 21. And Zechariah, the son of Mesheremiah, was porter of the door of the tabernacle of the congregation. All these which were chosen to be porters in the gates were 212. These were reckoned by their genealogy in their villages, whom David and Samuel, the seer, did ordain in their set office. Not anyhow. So they had their children, so they and their children had the oversight of the gates of the house of the Lord, namely the house of the tabernacle, by wards. In 4 quarters were the porters toward the east, west, north, and south. And their brethren which were in their villages were to come after 70 days from time to time with them. For these Levites, the 4 chief porters were in their set office and were over the chambers and treasuries of the house of God. And they lodged round about the house of God, because the charge was upon them, and the opening thereof every morning pertained to them. Hear that. And certain of them had the charge of the ministering vessels, that they should bring them in and out by tale. Some of them also were appointed to oversee the vessels and all the instruments of the sanctuary, and the fine flour and the wine and the oil and the frankincense and the spices. And some of the sons of the priests made the ointment of the spices. See that? And Mattathiah, one of the Levites, who was the firstborn of the Shalom, the Korahite, had set office over the things that were made in the pans. And other of their brethren, of the sons of the Kohathites, were over the showbread, to prepare it every Sabbath. And these are the singers, chief of the fathers of the Levites, who remaining in the chambers were free, for they were employed in that work day and night. Can you imagine? These chief fathers of the Levites were chief throughout their generations. These dwelt at Jerusalem. All those scriptures I gave you is to show you anything that you did in the tabernacle, later in the temple, it's God that called you. It's God that gave you that way. He assigned, he chose. So, when you are given a responsibility in the church, do you take it as a call or as a burden? Do you look at it as a blessing or you look at it as a labor? You should look at it as a blessing and do it heartily. You will be self-motivating. Any responsibility, whether it looks as though it is natural or carnal, just know God has called you in that position. And do it faithfully, do it with pleasure. Don't complain, don't grumble. Don't say, am I the only person? Am I the only? There is a danger when you do what has been assigned by God wrong. Who died? Do you remember their names? Who? Nadab and Abiathar. Who offered a strange fire? They were sons of Aaron, but they offered a strange fire. Where are they? We read it in Numbers chapter 3. You've already. Numbers chapter 3. Offered a strange fire. And Nadab and Abihu died before the Lord. Chapter 3, verse 4. When they offered a strange fire. That's why we say there is a danger when you do what has been assigned to you by God, when you do it wrong. How many times do we do it complaining, cursing, saying, am I the only one? Am I the only one to do this? Am I the only one? Do you know that God is the one that gave you that? Example of that is what we have just seen, Numbers 3, verse 4. You die. You may not die naturally or physically, when you do what has been assigned to you by God wrong, you may not die physically or naturally, but you die spiritually. You become dry. You are serving, but complaining, serving, but with a very bad spirit. When you would really be blessed spiritually, you die spiritually because you are doing it wrong. You may even lose the position. In 1 Samuel chapter 28, Saul lost his kingship, his being king. You can turn to 1 Samuel chapter 28. Whatever you have been given in the church, do it right. If you are an usher, you start stealing money. There have been ushers, an elder, start stealing money. They give you money, go and do this. And you want a difference. You will die spiritually. Don't tamper with God's money. You'd rather remain poor than say, give me a receipt and write this, but when I bought at this. That is wrong. In 1 Samuel 28, verses 3 through 17. Now Samuel was dead, and all Israel had lamented him and buried him in Ramah, even in his own city. And Saul had put away those that had familiar spirits and wizards out of the land. Wasn't that a good act? All those that had familiar spirits and wizards, they were destroyed. And the Philistines gathered themselves together, and they came and they pitched in Shunem. And Saul gathered all Israel together, and they pitched in Gilboa. And when Saul saw the host of the Philistines, he was afraid, and his heart greatly trembled. And when Saul inquired of the Lord answered him not, neither by dreams, nor by Urim, nor by prophets. Then he said Saul unto the servants, seek me a woman that has a familiar spirit, that I may go to her and inquire of her. And his servants said to him, behold, there is a woman that has a familiar spirit in Endor. And so disguised himself and put on other raiment. And he went, and 2 men with him, and they came to the woman by night and said, I pray thee, divine unto me by the familiar spirits, and bring him up, whom I shall name unto thee. And the woman said unto him, behold, thou knowest what Saul has done, how he has cut off those that have familiar spirits and wizards out of the land. Wherefore then liest thou a snare for my life to cause me to die? And Saul sware to her by the Lord, saying, as the Lord liveth, there shall no punishment happen to thee for this thing. Then Saul said the woman, whom shall I bring up unto thee? And he said, bring me up Samuel. If witch doctors read this, thank God they don't read the Bible. And when the woman saw Samuel, she cried with a loud voice. And the woman spake to Saul, saying, Why hast thou deceived me? For thou art Saul. And the king said unto her, Be not afraid, for what sawest thou? And the woman said unto Saul, I saw gods ascending out of the earth. And he said unto her, What form is he of? And she said, An old man cometh up, and he is covered with a mantle. And Saul perceived that it was Samuel. And he stooped with his face to the ground and bowed himself. And Samuel said to Saul, Why hast thou disquieted me to bring me up? Saul answered, I am so distressed, for the Philistines make war against me, and God is departed from me, and answereth me no more, neither by prophets, nor by dreams. Therefore have I called thee, that thou mayest make known unto me what I shall do. Then said Samuel, Wherefore then dost thou ask of me, seeing the Lord is departed from thee, and is become thine enemy? And the Lord has done to him as he spake by me. For the Lord has rented the kingdom out of thine hand, and given it to thy neighbor, even to David. My God. Saul lost. You have to read the chapters earlier. He was given instructions and he didn't follow. He lost a position of being king. So, when you are serving God, do it the right way. Do it faithfully. Do it from the heart. Know it is a call. What I have observed that these saints know they are doing the will of God, as we see in Ephesians chapter 6. Ephesians chapter 6, verse 2. Honor thy father. Is it the one I want? No, I think I wanted this. 6. Not with eye service as many pleasers, but as the servants of Christ, doing the will of what? The will of God. So when you are serving, just know you are doing the will of God, not the will of man. For us, we know we are serving men, and that's where we make mistakes. In 1 Samuel again, chapter 23, 1 Samuel chapter 23, (15 through 17). David saw that Saul was come out to seek his life, and David was in the wilderness of Ziph in a wood. And Jonathan, Saul's son, arose and went to David into the wood and strengthened his hand in God. And he said unto him, Fear not, for the hand of Saul my father shall not find thee, and thou shalt be king over Israel, and I shall be next unto thee. And that also my father, I think I should be 2 Samuel, not 1 Samuel. Let's go to 2 Samuel 23, verses 15. Yes, sorry, I wrote it wrong. 2 Samuel 23, and David longed and said, Oh, that one would give me drink of the water of the well of Bethlehem, which is by the gate. And 3 mighty men break through the host. A host is an army. Break through the host of the Philistines and drew water out of the well of Bethlehem that was by the gate, and took it and brought it to David. Nevertheless, he would not drink thereof, but poured it out unto the Lord. And he said, Be it far from me, O Lord, that I should do this. Is not this the blood of the men that went in jeopardy of their lives? Therefore he would not drink it. These things did these 3 mighty men. Can you imagine? Just seeing what their master, these 3 men, what his desire was. And these men did not fear the army of the Philistines. They broke through and went and got water. These men were not eye service men. They knew what they had been called to do. Even when it endangered their lives, they went ahead. They were serving a man of God. They were serving David, a servant of God. This was endangering their lives. That's why David, when he thought about it, when they brought the water, he said, No, I will be drinking the blood of these men. Can you serve to that extent where you endanger your life? Your life becomes in danger. That is genuine service. Then 1 Samuel 31. It is quite challenging to endanger your life. How many know Sister Gorette McCary? How many? Some don't. Sir, have you been a part of this assembly? You don't know. the wife of the pastor of Iganga. My God, you are far. You remember when I talked to you here and I said, well, who will be embarrassed? Because no house in the village. Was it here that I mentioned that? I think it was when the brothers were here. You remember that weekend, the first weekend, Saturday, was it Saturday, Sunday, talking about having a house in the village. Isn't it here? People don't even remember. That means that passed to you. You didn't even hear it. And often times I've said, well, if God wants me to be embarrassed, I cannot run away from it, if that is God's will. But I knew I was serving God. We don't know who to go first, whether Sister Memo or myself. I said, well, whatever God wants. But do you know that sister was touched? I don't know whether it was part of her gratuity or whatever, but she's going to send $2 million for the house in the village. 2. She understood. Some of you, when we talk, you can't. It just goes over. She's going to give $1 million for the school. Gave something for Sister Meme. Then she remembered Esther that kept her before I went to Tororo. That sister serves God. That is as it were your last money. Am I right, you who are civil? Almost. What will remain is the little pension. Then I understand God will make it. God will make it for us to have. She said, this is for the pastor's house in the village. And he's your pastor, pastors 2 churches, that means God is working. I knew if God wants it, we'll touch somebody. She's building a house and it needs a lot of money, but to leave that and say, I mean on top of that, and then say, let me give. It's like these 3 men endangered their lives. Because if she doesn't use her money properly, the house will not be finished. May God help this assembly. It's a challenge. A real challenge. It's like these 3 men. All right, 1 Samuel 31. verses 4 and 5. Then said Saul, so he's fighting with the Philistines, and somehow he's caught up. Then Saul said unto his armor-bearer, draw thy sword and thrust me through therewith, lest these uncircumcised come and thrust me through and abuse me. But his armor-bearer would not, for he was so afraid. Therefore Saul took a sword and fell upon it. The armor-bearer said, how can I slaughter my master? And when his armor-bearer saw that Saul was dead, he fell likewise upon his sword and died with him. I think I'm very far from that. Can you imagine the arm-bearer, the act of the arm-bearer? So, somebody threw sword, wounded, and now he couldn't fight. Said, these people are going to come and finish me. You finish me. You're a child of God. Rather than the uncircumcised. The arm-bearer, how can I kill my master? He said, no, I cannot do that. So himself, killed himself. And when the armor-bearer saw that his master, the person he's serving, has died, he killed himself also. Let me die with my master. How many of us would have done that? Serving, where you endanger your life to that extent. Saul's armor-bearer was not an eye service man. Was he? Was not an eye service man. Well, time has caught us up. There were still some few scriptures, but we'll see it another day. Not to be eye service, to know it's a call, it's a blessing. I must do it right. Shouldn't do it complaining, grumbling. May God help us in a position that God has given you in the church. Do it heartily. Amen? All right.